all the day long, hopping and a bopping and a singing his song. All the little birds on Jaybird Street love to hear the robin go tweet, tweet, tweet. Rockin' Robin, tweet, tweet, rock, rockin' Robin, tweet, tweet. Slow rockin' Robin, 'cause we really gonna rock tonight.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Shop Talk, YouTube's premier off-the-clock appliance repair talk for off-the-clock appliance repair techs. I'm your host with the most, Brother B. And you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a special guest tonight. Here at TMM Appliance Network, we're always looking for ways to make the industry better. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a special guest today, coming all of the way out of the West Palm Beach area of Florida, my good friend, Mr. Tony Sakal from Board Busters. Tony, welcome to the show. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Hi, my name is Tony, and just like Brandon said, I'm with Board Busters. I am Board Busters. That's what we do here. Well, contrary to the name, we don't bust boards, we fix them. But yeah, basically we've been doing this for about 10 years now. And if you want to know how we got into it or how I got into it, it's kind of an interesting story. You might like it.
Go ahead, Tony, please tell us about Board Busters.
I was actually going to go to medical school at age 38.
Tony, stop. Tony, I'm sorry. Stop rocking, brother.
Oh, my bad. I was actually going to go into medical school at age 38. And what happened was a buddy of mine said, well, you need to do something while you're in school because you can't work while you're in medical school. So I'll teach you appliance repair. So I agreed to do that. We went out on a call and we came across one of those Whirlpool refrigerators with, those expensive boards in them. A lot of people probably know which one I'm talking about.
You're talking about the little square one, right? And that's square.
Right. That's the one. Yep. So we sent it off to a company. I'm not going to name any names here. And I had no idea what was going on. I was just following his lead. He had told me it was the board and needed to get fixed. And I said, whatever. So we sent it in, came back 2 weeks later. It still wasn't working. We sent it back in. It came back another 2 or 3 weeks later. It still wasn't working. We did it a third time and it still wasn't working. So as you can imagine, the customer was quite upset at that point. And I said, you know what, let me go on Google and see what I can do. We'll see what I can find. And I just started digging around. And next thing you know, I started fooling around with this thing and I got it working. And actually, you know what I did? I think I found a broken one was what it was on eBay. I bought it and I fooled around with that one and I got it working. Went back, put it in, and it fired right up. And I said, who needs medical school when you could be fixing boards? And that was it. That was 10 years ago, and here I am.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, in case you guys never heard of this individual, let me be clear. I bring you guys my personal friends, my personal colleagues, guys and gals that I use in the field. These are the guys and gals that I trust. Now, my brother doesn't want to say these competitors' names, and I don't blame him, but I will go ahead and say them. I'm sure you heard of the Core Centrixes and the Fixmod. And I'm sure you've heard of those big brands and those big companies. And this is how I came to know Tony personally. You see, Tony's about an hour away from me. And that same KitchenAid board, the one located in the rear next to the inverter, I think it was like a week turnaround, a 10-day turnaround. And somebody told me, they say, hey, Brother B, I got a guy up in West Palm. He owns his own business and he does it for everybody in the area locally. And I was skeptical. I said, oh, man, I don't know about this guy. I never heard of him. But, brother, you've probably repaired over 100 boards for me now. You've always been a stand-up guy. Every time I go in there, it seems like either somebody's in line getting their board fixed or they're walking out as I'm walking up to your shop there. And, I watch your craftsmanship. I see your oscilloscopes, your DC generators. Tony, maybe I never shared this with you, but I have a degree in electronics. I went to electronics school for 1 full year in San Diego, Monday through Friday, 6 to 10. one of the most grueling, intense subjects that I ever took, but it helped with my appliance repair trade. So I know what a professional looks like. So when I seen your shop, when I seen your rig, when I seen, with your scope there, and I seen you dialed in, and I seen you using frequency and stuff, I said, oh, this guy's on another level. Tony, you said that you started doing board repair on your own. Do you care to share how you get so damn good at it?
Yeah, basically what happened was it took a little time. I am not gonna lie to you, I definitely was making quite a few mistakes. Board repair or electronics, unlike yourself, was not my forte. I did not go to school for that. Again, I was kind of trying to find myself at age 38. I lost all my businesses back in California, moved out here, and I was trying to find something. So I was going to go to medical school, and that's when I came across this. And I just figured, my attitude is this: there's nothing you can't learn on the internet or with books. And most of this, well, everything I've ever learned in my life, I've been self-taught in. And, if you've got the patience and you've got the determination, then you can do it. You just need to sit down and, spend the time working on it. So in the beginning, it's kind of a crazy story. I put an ad out there and I had probably boards piled up to the ceiling within 2 weeks. It was crazy. No lie. I literally had no idea what I was doing, but I had to learn quickly. And I made a deal with all my people that sent boards in. I said, look, if this does not work when you get it back, I will do whatever boards you send me in the future at no cost, just because, I want to make you happy, sort of thing. And that's what I did. And I still have some of those customers, believe it or not, but they were just happy that I was being honest with them. And it worked out in the end. So a lot of mistakes, but a lot of, grueling hours. And after a while, it just started to click. And little by little, I started to figure it out. And that was it.
Now, Tony, let's talk about Board Busters. You said you've been in a business 10 years. How'd you come up with the name, and tell me about your services? For those who don't know, who the hell is Board Busters, please?
The name, nothing special about the name. You know how it is getting yourself a good name nowadays on any website. It's pretty much everything out there is taken. I was interested in Board Busters with an S. It wasn't available, so I grabbed the Z. I thought it was a catchy name. That's the only reason I went with that name. But I'm sorry, going back to your second question, what was that now?
The services. Please expand on the services that Board Busters does. Talk about some of your most famous boards that you repair, what sets you apart from your competitors, and a little bit about Board Busters for those who don't know.
Yeah. Basically every board that comes in, it gets done in one day and sent back out the next. I like to get a fast turnaround because, as you know, people go crazy without their appliances, especially refrigerators, especially ovens during the holidays. So every board that comes in, I'm blessed in that I get a lot of boards coming in every day, but I don't get so many that I can't get them all done in one day. The only reason I wouldn't is if something came up that was kind of out of the ordinary. If I had to order something, some sort of a part that's not available. There's a lot of boards that I get that a lot of places don't do. For example, there's a board out there for a Thermador gas stove. I guess it's a cooktop, simmer cooktop. And nobody can fix this thing because the programming, you can't get the chips anymore. You have to get them from basically out of the country. And on top of that, the only programmer that they make, most people don't know it exists. And I do have that program or that programmer. So, I like to take the hard cases on because a lot of these companies, core-centric, since you said it, I'll go ahead and say it myself. They don't want to do these jobs. They want to get the easy boards in, the ones that take 2 seconds, bam, bam, out the door. They go on to the next board. They don't want to take the difficult cases on. And that's kind of where I came in because people would call and say, look, I've exhausted my resources. Nobody can fix it. And I'll tell them, hey, I'm not guaranteeing it. If you've already had it worked on and they can't do it, I'm definitely willing to give it a shot. But there's always that chance that it's not going to get fixed because there's some underlying problem. Maybe it's the programming, maybe it's something else, but not every board is repairable. But I do like to give it that shot because there's nothing better than calling the customer up saying, hey, we got it done for you. And, we're saving you a $15,000 stovetop or a refrigerator or whatever. And, they love it. They love it.
Tony, what are some of the most popular boards that you see day to day?
It's as time goes on, you see less and less of them, but I'll give you a couple examples. Whirlpool double ovens. There's one particular one that comes in all the time where the display goes out. Funny story. That board, along with another Whirlpool oven board, there is a specific component on that board that tests good, but actually fails once you plug it in. And it's crazy because you're testing the components and you think everything's fine, and it's not because it's testing good, but it's not when you plug it in. So that board, for example, I figured that as a mistake. It was a mistake, basically. It was kind of like, I fell over it I just kind of tripped over it, and I found the problem by pure happenstance. It was luck. And so after that particular board for that particular oven, it's a Whirlpool double oven. It's the one with the single display. There's another one with the double display, a little clock display on the right, and the bigger one on the left. This particular one probably comes in, well, lately not as much, but for about 5 years, it was coming in, I'd say at least every day, sometimes 2 a day. So that was a popular board. Now we get a couple of weeks, so they're dying out. Obviously, as time goes on, these ovens and refrigerators, whatever they start to fade out. People start to get rid of them. So they're not coming in as much anymore. But so it's kind of a weird thing. You got an oven or you got a board that's testing perfectly fine. How do you find the problem? You just got to keep at it until you get it down. But once you get it down, it's great because nobody else knows how to figure it out except you. And that's where you get the business. So,
Tony, let me ask you a question. Me personally, I see that GE WRX blah blah blah, the 1042
5 or 42. Okay.
Yeah, I see that one a lot. That one always fails. I see the KitchenAid one, the one, like I said, that it comes in that little gray canister.
Mm-hmm.
Washing machines. I know Electrolux, they have one that one of their relays, it always begins to desolder a little, and you heat it up and it kind of works. So I've seen very specific boards fail in my tenure, and that's what's going to bring us to our segue. We got this course that we want to go ahead and push to the audience. Now, Tony, for a guy or gal that does appliance repair and says, when I need a board fixed, I just send it to get fixed. The price of this course, ladies and gentlemen, is $499. But I could personally attest to you that after about 2-3 of your own board repairs, you've made your money back. And you've learned a skill indefinitely that's going to help you for the rest of your life. Brother Tony, I want to get into now your expertise in this course that we're trying to promote. I know you want to get into board repair, but please tell us what kind of syllabus and what kind of curriculum are we looking at? Obviously, board repair, we're going to be doing hands-on. Soldering, are we going to be doing any soldering?
Yep, soldering. We can do soldering. That's something that you can pick up quite easily. It's not too difficult. But then again, I don't know. Some people I've seen boards come in. People work on their own boards and they completely destroy them when it comes to soldering. So maybe that is something that some people have trouble with. So we'll go over that. Simple things. A lot of people don't understand that when a board comes in, it's usually like, let's say you get in whatever board, any whatever board, pick one. It doesn't matter. That particular board might have 1 to 3 or 4 different problems that come up. In other words, you're always going to see the same exact problems on that board. Every now and then, there's an anomaly with that board. You'll find some other problem with it. And that comes with experience and time. But for the most part, if you get a board in, it's going to be the same problem or the same set of different problems. So you test this. If it's not that, you go to this. If it's not that, it's this. Okay. And so basically what we'll do is we'll sit down and show you the main problems that come in on just about every board. So there's certain things that go wrong with boards that I can tell you, for example, just one quick tip. Okay. If you've got a board in front of you and there's no power to that board, okay, and it comes in, okay, I'm going to say, or I'm going to look at it, I'm going to say, okay, no power. There's 4 different things that could contribute to that. Obviously, a fuse or a transformer. Those are the most common, or the things that most people would look at. The next 2 things would be either a diode or a transistor. So if you got a board that comes in and it's powering up, but it's doing something else, well, we know right there, guess what? It's not the diode, it's not the transistor, it's not the fuse, and it's not the transformer, because you've got power. So right away, you've just gone through or excluded, however, whatever percent of the components on that board that you need to test, because you know, since it's got power, it can't be one of these components. See what I'm saying? So we'll start off by saying, we'll take different examples. This board comes in and it's got a problem with this. Well, if it's got a problem with this, that probably means it's going to be one of these components. So you're immediately going to go to these components and start testing that particular component.
Let me stop you right there, Tony, and let me sell this a little bit. So, ladies and gentlemen, just so that we're clear here, upon coming down here and getting this hands-on soldering, okay, let's think about this. You're gonna get board hands-on repair as far as component identification. You got to be able to look at a board, okay, and number one, be able to tell, what's my relay? If you don't answer these questions and you can't honestly say, I know what Brother B's talking about, you need this course. Be able to identify which are your relays, which are your capacitors. What is the transformer? What is the diode? How do you test these components? And I tell you how this makes you an even greater technician. This makes you a great technician, because how many times have we had a doubt? Oh, I think it's the board. I hear something clicking, and we get up to that point as technicians where we can't go any further because we don't know how to board dive. We don't know how to get into the guts of the board. So, Tony, I think that we're onto something here by giving guys and gals hands-on solder repair, being able to remove the components off of the board, test the components, put the new components back on. Ladies and gentlemen, you get a board wrong, it's $200-300. Ladies and gentlemen, you get a capacitor wrong, it's 50 cents on Radio Shack or Amazon. It's no mystery. This is a good opportunity and a good course. Brother Tony, what kind of repairs can a guy or gal expect to start doing once they leave this 2-day hands-on event?
Well, if you're a technician, there's a few boards that there's a few appliances that you're going to basically see over and over and over, boards from these appliances over and over. And there's a few that you're not going to, and I'll tell you why. Obviously, stoves and refrigerators, done deal. Even some dryers, you can repair a lot of those boards. The problem that we're running into, though, more and more nowadays, there's a couple problems, but one of the main problems is that washing machines and some refrigerators, they now basically cover these in paraffin or wax or whatever it is they put on there, some kind of an epoxy, and that makes certain boards impossible to test. Okay, I'll show you what I mean when whoever, if you guys come to this class, that'll be one of the first things I show you. These are what you want to stay away from, sort of thing. Now, I'm not saying you can't fix them. Maybe some of you will find a market, a niche market in those boards, because maybe you'll be willing to take the time to remove that wax and cut that casing out, and which will still work, by the way. You don't need the wax or the casing for a board to work. You just need to get to the components. So if the components are being covered with wax or whatever else, and you're finding that that's difficult to work on, you have two choices. Either tell the customer, hey, look, you're going to have to get a new board, or turn that in your own niche market. You can figure out a way to get to it yourself. And if you could do that, yeah, you're in business. You'll be able to fix those as well. But basically stoves, refrigerators, hands down, you'll fix all of those. Washing machines, a little bit more difficult, especially LGs and Samsungs, just because they love to cover those in wax. And I mean, they cover them in wax like an inch or so thick. So those are a little more difficult, not impossible, just, difficult. Dryers, yep, you'll be able to do a lot of those. And, the odd board here and there. You're also going to find that you could fix other boards. It doesn't even need to be appliance related. People come to me all the time with all sorts of things. For example, yachts. People have these big yachts down here in West Palm or Palm Beach on the island. I can't tell you how many times they've come to me and said, hey, we got a bilge pump here with a board, and this board's $750. Can you fix this? I don't know. Let's give it a shot. Oh, what do you know? It's got a bad triac or whatever. You fix it. They bring you 3 more. You charge them $250 a pop. Now you just save them basically one board that they could buy brand new. You fix 4 of theirs. Now they got 4 boards that they can use on that yacht when the others go bad for the price of one that they would have paid. So you want to always kind of expand your business, and you don't want to just keep it with appliances. You can use this for anything. A board is a board. A board is a board. So, you can go anywhere with that.
Tony, listen, great stuff. I think that it's a no-brainer. Again, ladies and gentlemen, $4.99. This is a deal of a lifetime. You will see 4, 5, 10 times investment on your a return on your investment. It's a definite must-have skill. And listen, we are doing virtual. So if you cannot make it, we are going to live stream the entire event virtually for $250. Again, ladies and gentlemen, think of how many times you send your boards out to get repaired. Stop doing it. Learn how to fix your own boards. You can even turn this into a niche. You just heard brother Tony here. But brother Tony, again, the date for those who are want to know, it is October 30th and October 31st. October 30th, October 31st, 2021. All class information can be found at tmmacademics.com, or you can email me personally at tmm.appliancerepair@gmail.com. Brother Tony, I think that this is going to be a great opportunity for the industry, and I want to thank you for sharing your skill set with us. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. You got it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. YouTube's premier Off the Clock Appliance Repair Talk for Off the Clock Appliance Repair Techs. I'm your host, Brother B, with Brother T, boardbusters.com. Check them out. October 30th, October 31st. Come down here. Hands-on board repair. Thank you, Brother Tony. You're the man, sir.
You got it, bud. Thank you.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a great one. Signing out.